which will attract lint and hold it up in there. I put that bonnet on, put the shirt on, lint brushed the shirt, made sure it was all good in the hood, took the bonnet off, and I was good to go. Prevent lint from getting in this head. I've definitely knocked off some lint this way. I'm Bianca Yasmin. Welcome back to my channel. It's so good to see you. In this one, I'm gonna be getting into all the ways I found to prevent and avoid getting lint in my locks. I found a few tips along the way during my 3-year lock journey, and I wanted to share them with you. So, full disclaimer, all or none of these methods might work in the prevention of lint in your locks. Lint is a little sneaky thing. It's always there. It's hiding in the night. It attacks you in your dreams. It's like, you remember dating back in high school where they go with you but you don't go with them? That's the relationship with lint and locks. Lint go with locks real bad. But locks is single as a Pringle, ready to mingle, tingle, and fringle. You know what I'm saying. Lint is like those people that try to hand you CDs and cards like while you walking through big crowds. No matter how hard you try to avoid them, they always manage to find your ass. Lint is the same way. Ain't really no getting away from it. But I got some tips on how you can prevent so much lint from getting in your locks. So let's get into it. So number 1, don't use a cotton towel to dry your locks. Cotton carries lint like a mother carrying her newborn child. Some folks suggest using microfiber towels, but I bought some and still saw lint on them. So I just used one of my satin pillowcases and just pat my locks to soak up any excess water. I've even used one of my head wraps to dry my hair before, like the jersey material head wraps. I mean, I really don't care what the item is called. As long as it's not cotton and I don't see a bunch of lint on it, I'm gonna use it to dry my hair. Then from there, I'll either air dry or sit under the dryer. Number 2, and this one's a little controversial. So do it based on your hair texture and at your own risk. But before you wash or wet your hair, do a lint check and dry brush your locks before washing them. Just to remove any lint that might be sitting on the top of your locks so you don't wash the lint into your locks. Now you don't have to brush too aggressively or for too long, but just lightly brush them real quick to knock off any of that lint that might be on there. I've definitely knocked off some lint this way. And then it might look a little crazy. I even like to do like a little shake like that. I like to do that. And then I like to like pull it up and do that. It look crazy, but you know, I be seeing stuff flying in the air. So it's like, well, shit, it's working. I mean, it ain't science, it ain't scientific, but I think it's working. Number 3, take a handheld mirror and check the back of that head. Lift your locks up, look through them, have someone else do a lint check for you. I know when I first started my lock journey, I had to sit down and give my husband a PSA about how he was now responsible for removing any and all lint that he may see enter my head. And after a few gentle reminders, he now understands the severity of the lint removal situation. And number 4, get a satin bonnet and wear it. I always hear about folks forgetting to put it on. Listen, ain't no forgetting to put it on if you're trying to avoid lint, okay? Get you a couple and keep them around the house. Put one in your nightstand, in your bathroom, your mama's house, your mama's sister's house. Keep one in your car, at your boo's house, at your mama's boo's house, your sister's mama's house. Hide one in the living room. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you don't have any excuses as to why you don't have that bonnet on. And don't be afraid to wear your bonnet around the house even when you're not sleeping. You know how you'll dust a piece of furniture, then you look 2 days later and that thing needs to be dusted again? And you don't understand how it can get that dusty that fast even though you just dusted it? That's that same exact dust that'll be floating around and sitting in your locks if you don't cover that head. If you're cleaning or doing laundry, that bonnet needs to be on your head. Playing with pets, bonnet on. Having a little boots on, bonnet on. It's only a few positions that require this bonnet to be off. You know what I'm saying? My husband already knows. That bonnet is a paid actor at this point. I ain't getting unnecessary lint in my locks for nobody. Also, wear a bonnet anytime you're putting on a shirt. Always wear a bonnet when you put a shirt on and lint brush that thing before you take that bonnet off. There are entire lint nations that reside on shirts, okay? Protect yourself. This one tried to play me before I put it on. When I tell you I lint brush this thing, I put that bonnet on, put the shirt on, lint brush the shirt, made sure it was all good in the hood, took the bonnet off, and I was good to go. Lint brush that shirt first. This is also why I say to keep a bonnet in your car or purse. I like to call this a travel bonnet. That way, if you're out shopping or trying on clothes, you'll still be able to protect your locks from lint mobs. Number 5, get a satin pillowcase and use it. Now, the satin pillowcase is a form of reassurance. It's like eating at home before you go to a friend's house for dinner. You just want to be on the safe side. All of my sleeping pillows have satin pillowcases on them, just in case either me or my bonnet is caught slipping. If I accidentally fall asleep somewhere, it will be on a satin pillowcase. And if my bonnet decides to slide off while I'm sleeping, my head will be sliding right onto that satin pillowcase, okay? I take my satin pillowcase with me to other people's house. If I go to a hotel, that satin pillowcase will be coming with me, and every pillow in that hotel room will have a satin pillowcase. Compliments of your girl. I also lay a satin pillowcase on my yoga mat for any exercises or poses that I'm doing that require my head to touch the mat, because hell no. Number 6, don't over moisturize. Using too much oil in your locks can make your hair sticky, which will attract lint and hold it up in there. So try to create a moisturizing routine that works best for you and your hair. When I first started my lock journey, I was moisturizing my locks every other week and realized that was just too much for my hair. I realized that was also attracting the lint that flies around in your house. It was sticking to my head, okay? And that was before I even had a chance to put the bonnet on. I couldn't walk through my door without attracting lint to my head. So I knew I had to lighten up on the oil. And now I just moisturize whenever my locks start giving early drought Coachella desert vibes, which is about once a month. Number 7, make sure you're touching your locks with clean hands. You won't believe how many times I've dried my hands with a towel, then noticed the amount of lint on my hands that I could have easily transferred to my locks if I wasn't paying attention. Look, honestly, ashy hands is best, okay? Just cause you know ain't nothing sticking to them. I'm not saying you gotta be ashy, you know what I'm saying? But just be mindful. You know, you might wanna let that shea butter wear off a little bit and check your hands first before you go running them through your locks. Number 8, be mindful of the people around you and the fabrics that they're wearing. For example, my husband is very affectionate and he likes coming behind me and giving me hugs, and I love that for myself. But I be trying not to get a crick in my neck from, like, you know, like what kind of, what's that made of? You know, what fabric is that? You know, I see a little lint on your, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love you, baby, but that shirt. I remember I was sitting at a game and this lady kept walking behind me, and it was definitely on accident, but she was wearing something big and it knocked me in the back of my head, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, dang, you know, what if I gotta go home now and check the back of my head to make sure that the lady didn't put any lint in the back of my head. So just be mindful of the hugs you give and what kind of fabric folk got on. And also, to piggyback off that, be mindful of the fabrics you're wearing as well. I know it's cold out, but them scarves and them hats and them fuzzy sweaters might have the back row of your locks looking like the lint tray in the dryer. Well, that's all I got for this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let me know if you have any other tips or suggestions that you can add. I'm always trying to find new ways to prevent lint from getting in this head. And I'm sure our fellow lock fam will appreciate any and all tips. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Microfiber. Hey, baby. Oh, you're sweet. I love you. Go lay down, baby. You want to be in the video? Okay. This one, I'm going to be getting into all the ways